Do you want to be the best at Dragon Ball Sparkingzero? Do you want to make your brother cry in agony as you teach him how it is to be a pro Sparkingzero player?
Well, I think that was too extreme, wouldn't you say?
Don't you want to be the best PvP online player?
Admit it.
I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you've come to the right place. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Alpha Dome 33336, and today I'm coming with you with a new series that I'm introducing to this channel. And this series is called the one and only How to Play Sparkingzero. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know, in the Budokai series, there is important details that you guys need to know, but there is two important things that I would say you guys should learn and should go into. And those two things are how to play defensively and how to play attacking. So in this video, we're going to be going on the defensive side, of the Sparkingzero. And firstly, we are going to be tackling the defensive mechanics. Sparkingzero. In Sparkingzero, there are 4 types of defensive mechanics, and those defensive mechanics are Z counters, Sonic Sway, and counter stance. In this video, we're going to be tackling 2, which is the counters and the Z counters. Well, due to my obsession a little bit with Dragon Ball Sparkingzero, I have made a graph, showing of what I think is more important in terms of the defensive side. And to my knowledge, I have seen that Sonic Sway it's not really that important in my point of view.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Well, counter stance actually is less than important in Sonic Sway, with Z counters being the best, but counters being just slowly down Z counters. This might change by the end of this video because I have done some analysis on some abilities, that the advantages and disadvantages that Z counters and counters have, so this graph might change. So let's go into it. Defensive mechanics, Z counters. Well, Z counters, some of you might be asking, what the heck is Z counters? In Dragon Ball Budokai series, Z counters are defensive maneuvers that players can perform to counter an opponent's attack. The timing is really important with Z counters and is very precise, and it needs to be executed just before the enemy attacks. Well, there is also of course a special action that you need to press, which is up plus square. Well, I think you guys need to see a proper example to understand exactly what are Z counters. Editing me, please do the job. And that is Z counters, ladies and gentlemen. Basically a counter attack. Before the enemy attacks you, you press up, square. I also have some other examples that I want to show you what Z counters do, how they do. But it's just the timing is very precise. It needs to be just before the enemy attacks. The timing is a bit different from counters. I myself hasn't mastered this technique yet because of the difficulty that it has, to be honest, but I am slowly getting there by doing a lot of testing and a lot of upper plus square a lot of times. But it's such a hard technique to get, but usually against the board it just does it a lot of times. So of course there are certain advantages to this counter mechanic, and I am going to be listing them now. Firstly, we've got the advantages. Advantages are it counters melee attacks, counters strong melee attacks, counters grabs, counters attacks from the back, does not require key, counters force attacks, counters, and counters counter stance. I'll wait to explain more of what I mean especially with counter melee attacks and counters, force attacks and counters and counter stands. I'm going to go into that a little bit later on in the video. But the disadvantages of the Z counters is that it doesn't counter super attacks, doesn't counter rush attacks, doesn't counter ultimate attacks, as well as Sonic Sway, and it takes just a little bit precise. It needs a little bit of a very hard timing. It depends, you need to be really good in timing that. It's a very hard timing that you need to just get used to, but if it's executed, it is very effective. Now I'm sure you guys are wondering what is the force ability. I'm gonna show that right now, but the rest I'm gonna be showing that at the end. So what I meant by force is just like that little push that can be countered by Z counters. That's what I mean by force, and then the rest I'm just gonna explain them a little bit later when I actually go into some gameplay. So I'm sure you guys are wondering what is better between Z counters and counters. So let's go into that. Defensive mechanic 2, counters. Well, as we approach the counter section of today's video, we have to obviously explain what exactly are counters and how do we initiate counters, how do we do counters. In Dragon Ball sparkingzero or Budokai Tenkaichi series, counters are defensive moves that allow the players to turn the tables on their opponent by responding to an incoming attack with a counter attack. Of course, this has a certain action that you guys need to press, which is O. Yes, O. Well, I'm sure as you guys saw, counters can definitely counter a lot of things in the game, and we're also gonna go into that. But before we go into that, let us go to the advantages and disadvantages of counters. Counters has similar advantages to Z counters, but it has the majority of the advantages. So the advantage is that it has counters strong melee attacks, counters grabs, counters force attacks, counters Z counters, counters super attacks, counters counter stands, rush attacks, ultimate attacks, and the timing is slightly easier than Z counters. Well, let's don't waste time and go to the disadvantages. Surprisingly, when I was composing this, I could not find the disadvantages. I couldn't find a lot of disadvantages for this, and I was like, wait, actually the counters are actually better than Z counters. So the disadvantage is that it doesn't really counter normal attacks from the back and Sonic Sway, and it burns ki, which is not really that much, but still a disadvantage. Z counters does not burn ki. So I was asking myself and telling myself, counters has this so many disadvantages to it. I mean, there's a little bit of disadvantage to it. Z counters, on the other hand, disadvantage that it can help counter supers, ultimate attacks, rush attacks, which is a very big disadvantage. So is it better to learn Z counters or learn counters? So in the way I learned this mechanics is, I used to play Ratchet Blast when I was young, and I was an expert at doing the counters. So I did train counters first, and I'm quite having a hard time in having the understanding of Z counters, because I literally just started practicing Z counters yesterday. But through my practice, I could see that I just need to practice it more, and then if I can gain that usage of Z counters, it can be good. But I would also prefer that you guys maybe tackle counters first, due to it's just easy for you to get the timing, and you can literally see the timing. It's very visible. Z counters, on the other hand, with the game being fast and all, it's kind of hard to see the counters, but you can get the counters there, but it's just a little bit hard. So I would say get to counters, get used to getting that quick timing, and because Raging Blast is a bit slow with the timing, with this budokai Tenkaichi, it's a bit fast. The game's a bit fast, so you're gonna have to get used to that first. So without further ado, I also want to go to the in-depth gameplay on what exactly can Z counters counter and what can counter counters. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're here into the gameplay, and okay, I wanted to just show you guys what's going on with the combo systems and how what can combo system, what am I saying, what am I on about, the counter systems and how Z counters work in game. So okay, so first thing first, I'm going to be explaining to you what can Z counters counter. So as we start, right, we can see that I do like one attack here to start the combo. So one, this is to press square once. Once you do this, the Z counter can counter this. So the startup of the combo, that's Z counter can actually stop that. So as you can see here, this one. As soon as you press square once, this is what the Z counter can do. And you see I do a combo as well, and then I hold square a little bit. That as well, Z counter can combo that, can counter that as well. But as soon as I combo him once with the square and I keep on pressing square, those other squares Z counter does not counter that. So you have to just know when to press up and square when you're doing the Z counter. So you do it as soon as he starts his combo, right? As soon as he does an extension, I think I'm going to be doing like an example here as well. Exactly. As soon as he does that, that is also when you can counter as well. And then we also have when he does like triangle thing, heavy attacks, which are the triangles, which I specified as heavy melee attacks. You know, those big melee attacks, you know, with the, I don't know why they call it triangle finishes, you know, the triangle finish. So if you go square, triangle, you can do that. Exactly. This, you can Z counter. This, you can Z counter. That, you can Z counter. You see, those are the certain things that I just wanted to show you guys, so you can have an in-depth look. What can I Z counter? And that is the force push I was talking about. That you can also Z counter. And then here I was just checking out like the name of the triangle thing, which is the heavy finishes. So every heavy finish can be countered by the Z counters. So Z counters counters every heavy finish. It counters the startup combo for the square, which is the light attacks here. So we call it light attacks. So startup to light attack, it counters heavy attacks. All heavy attacks, it counters that. And then in terms of counters, counters on the other hand, they counter heavy attacks. All heavy attacks can be countered except for, I think the one where you do 3 and then it does like 3 legs on top, or it does like a spinning kick or something like that. I don't know, I don't think I show it here, but there's only one heavy attack that cannot be countered, but the rest of them, they can be countered. So the force push can be countered, the sternum leaking, turn around, those can be countered by normal counters, right? And then counters can counter like small light attacks, startup light attacks, or small light attacks. They cannot do that. Even the extension, when you extend your combo, they cannot do that. They can do heavy attacks, right attacks, and everything as specified into the video. So yeah, that is actually all that I wanted to tell you guys about counters and Z counters. Right now, the last thing I want to show you is that an actual match on how these things actually occur, how they happen, you know, what situations you use Z counters, what situation you use counters. To be honest, the CPU was really heavy on Z counters. I was really heavy on counters because I'm not really acquainted to Z counters. I was acquainted to counters. So don't just be shocked when I use more of Z counters other than Z counters. So let's go. So this is the first match. You know, we started off really rough. I'm a bit rusty as well, but it's okay. He used the counter stance there to take my thing back. Here I also did a counter stance to take him back too. And then I, you know, just playing around with some combos. And I'm gonna talk about these combos, how to do these combos in the next installment. Not the next installment, but I think the next installment. Here's the first Z counter. And then there's counter. So this is how Z counter can counter Z counter Z counter. And then this is why I do believe that counters are gonna be more important than Z counters, because if you can win those type of matches, counters is just soft, you know what I'm saying? unless if it has a Z counter and you go back and forth, But I think counters are just very easy to do. Turn him around, counter attacks, continue the combo triangle, hit him with the Masebo on the floor. Yeah, now look at that damage. And this is the next level difficulty. Oh, nice counter there by me. Extension. I tried to I dropped the combo a bit, so just to restart, turning him around, and then he Z countered as soon as I started my light attack. He Z countered that. That you can Z counter. Exactly what I was saying in the previous, block that. Oh, I thought I was gonna block that. I thought I blocked that. I thought I countered. And then currently using the counter to block the heavy attacks. These are heavy attacks. Force push. You can also dodge. I've seen that as well. You can also move in. I'll talk about that in the next day. I just saw that now. When I was playing, I was like, oh, you can actually do that as well. So I'm gonna be adding that in the next video to my whole presentation. Okay, I tried to do a power up right there. Health up was at 1. Intense match so far. Very nice match. Powered up to the limit. Damn, I think because he's trying to power up, and that's going to take out Goku. Let's go into the last match of the base video. Let's go. Student breaking and he does the Z counter. Heavy attacks can be Z countered. Light attacks like that. You see, the combo is started already. He can't Z counter that. There we go. I tried to restart my combo. Tried to restart, and then my first light attack that I did, he's like, nah. Nice. That's also the advantage of counters. If you know how to counter, you'll be good. The counters gonna take a little bit of a while to master, but it's gonna be more beneficial. But I do still recommend. So next way there, I still recommend counters to be that effect, just to get you to the whole dynamic of it. Try to do straight up leaking, but easy counted. Boom. He won that just by 1 Okay, I'll go in more again just to get some ball. Extend the combo. Oh no. And you can also Z counter that, because that's like an animation. So if you start forcing him to this small animation, that you can Z counter. Even that force push, he could Z counter. Anything I'm doing here, he can Z counter anything. Everything I'm doing here can Z counter. I can vanish that. Vanish. So I think now vanish and Z counters are really important. I think in the defensive side of things, learn that first. Once you learn those last first, you can go to Sonic's way, you can go to the counter stance, you can go to the defensive move in to dodge the attacks, everything like that. You can move into that after. But these two are ones I do recommend that you guys start first. So you get counter stance into many vanishes, into X-Slash, and I think I won that. Yeah, I won that. What a nice recovery. Does it Kamehameha? I could not dodge a blast attack. In this game, it's a bit too fast. In Raging Blast, it's very slow, so it's very easy to counter. Oh, we get a cut. Then I win him Zeta. Then I do a Maseko, and he dodges that with after the strike. It takes me to the ground. Yeah, but the blasts, it's a bit slow in Raging Blast. It's like I can do it in Raging Blast, but yeah, in this game I just cannot do it. It's very hard for me to do it. I don't know why. When it takes me to the ground, and that will be it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't gonna lie, this took so much editing to do. I almost done editing. I'm just filming this last part and then just putting this into the video. But please like and subscribe. I put so much effort into making this video. I love you all. Thanks for the 10 subscribers. This is a celebration for 10 subscribers. This is the celebration. I'm doing this whole video for that as well. Thank you for the 10 subscribers who subscribed. Don't worry. There will be constant content coming out about sparkingzero, about the whole budokai as well. And that will be it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Alpha Dome. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.